Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bump in the Dark, Iron Country Autumn. We are playing tonight as part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar. You can find the Gauntlet at Gauntlet-RPG. I am your keeper, Jex. I use they, them pronouns. And you can find me and my games, or game, mainly this one, at jexjthomas.itch.io. I am just going to go across the bottom of my screen. Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your character?
Yeah, my name is Michael Elliott, he, him pronouns. You can follow me on Twitter at NotWritingGames, or the games I make at notwriting.itch.io. I am playing Dale Auberndorfer. He is an ex-Fed agent who's forced to retire after an unfortunate occult accident in the R&D division. And he is just trying to keep everyone safe and orderly.
Perfect, great. And Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your character?
Yeah, I'm Jason. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Arnold Bearheart, goes by Junior. He's an 18-year-old Native American kid that I'm the unshaped, so I don't have any powers. I'm just a plucky novice. And everybody knows him, and he knows everybody, and he loves Slayer.
Slayer, in fact, rules.
Slayer, in fact, rules. Jesse.
I'm telling you, the Slayer rules guy is going to watch these videos and get in touch with you. Maybe. Anyway, my name is Jesse. My pronouns are he and him. I'm playing Harold Havamaki, also he, him. Harold is a relatively young veteran of the Gulf War, who got into some unfortunate shit when he was over there, in terms of looting antiquities, and came home with a demon in his head, and the incantation of the bowl that had trapped it tattooed on his head as well. And he mostly solves problems by punching them. That's sort of his deal. Demons, punching, drinking. Yeah.
All right, perfect. And Jesse, your gain seems just a little high. I'm not sure.
Not really sure how to adjust that either.
Okay. Well, just it wasn't like terrible. So just wanted to see if
the
there's
mic a little
anything.
bit, see if that helps.
Yeah, that seems a little bit better. Thank you. And Brandon, why don't you tell us about yourself and your character?
Yeah, hi, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Hope Tremblay, she, or just Hope, who is a young woman, maybe 21 or so, who has a sweet smile and an innocent expression. Often carries around a book or two in a bag, and is periodically followed by an orange tabby cat named Humphrey. She has much more experience of the world, and indeed experience of terrible things than her aspect would seem to allow for, because Hope is, or at least says she is, from the future, where something awful happened, and she was trying to make it not do that. And she works in the library. She loves stories, books, and pie, and seems weirdly familiar to most people in Lost Pine, even though she is not from here. She has a particular relationship with Hope Eames, and many people assume that Hope is the other Hope's daughter. Long lost or taken away by her divorced father. There are 5 million rumors about that.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And there's another stranger that we've been introduced to as well. we'll talk about that stranger in just a moment. Just as a kind of quick recap, last session we mostly took care of character and pack creation, but we also got into a little bit of gameplay. We met Junior working overnight at the 76 station. Some lights were flickering, and he saw the stranger, a being. How did we describe the stranger besides dressed in a trench coat? Anyone remember any of the other details about the stranger?
I remember just
We
like
never.
dark on this like complexion, just like shadowy.
Yeah, that's what I remember too. Kind of like shadowy. Jesse, what
And
were you going to say?
accompanied by many of the typical otherworldly phenomena things, funny electrical
Mhm.
phenomena. The lights, knocked out the lights, and then they went a little loopy at the station.
Yeah. Jesse, did you have something you were going to add?
Yeah, I think that we never, they were always sort of out of, just barely out of sight in the dark in the shadows, right? We saw the silhouette, but we weren't able to make out features.
Yeah. Junior called Hope, who drove out with her monster hunting gear. And Harold was heading in that direction after getting kicked out of the last pint by the bartender Mercy Davis, and stops at the 76 station. Meanwhile, Dale was awoken by the ghost of his partner from the Bureau, name of X, giving him a kind of creepy warning. He's back, the one we let out. And once Harold is on the scene at the 76 station, he compels the stranger successfully, but lets him into his head a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. And the stranger demanded the ones that opened the door. So I guess kind of starting out, what I wonder is, do we go somewhere else to have a conversation with the stranger, or does it just happen here in the parking lot? Does he get brought back, or it? I don't know. Did we have pronouns for the stranger? I think it.
Nope.
Probably. Okay.
It.
Does it get brought back to the base? What I think the thing here is the stranger wants to talk. I think that's what you know. And I think Dale was about to pull up on the scene as the stranger kind of made this demand. I think I'm just wondering, like, when we come back from commercial, are we still at the 76 station, or are we somewhere else? That's the question I was trying to ask, and I finally got there.
Okay. I see us in maybe the break room of the 76.
I want a hot dog.
Yeah, we all have hot dogs.
No, I want a hot dog, please.
Is the power back on?
I think the power is on. It's flickering a bit.
So what does the stranger look like?
I want a hot dog, or one of those other little cylinder things, which I don't know what they are.
Slim Jim?
No, the ones on the little rotating heating. Who's it?
Those are hot dogs.
No, well, but but there are other things that aren't hot dogs. They're like.
Do you want a taquito?
Like yeah, that's what they are.
Okay,
taquitos.
Well, we can get you a taquito. That's fine.
I'm sorry, I don't know what all the words for things are sometimes. And anyway, I want one. Can I have one? Are they still warm? I could just take one.
And
Harold, do you have a thing in your head now? I mean, not the other one.
I'm curious, actually. That's a good question. Would other people know that happened? I don't know that I had a sense that they would.
Yeah, I mean, I think they know I got its attention. I'm not sure they know how necessarily.
Well, then I can certainly say, Harold, you weren't supposed to talk to that yet. You were supposed to wait until Dale got here.
I didn't know there were rules.
No, I meant that's the way it was supposed to happen. Never mind. It's not rules.
That's good. I'm bad at rules.
And meanwhile, the stranger is sitting on a folding chair in this break room.
Hi, I'm Hope.
Mm.
Literally, I say to the stranger,
The stranger nods, and
"Do you talk?"
its trench coat looks like a trench coat full of a person, but the person that's in there is harder to grok.
You don't mind if I take a picture of you, do you? It's for my portfolio.
Kind of grunts at you,
I take a picture.
and it sort of looks like it kind of looks like a figure in the darkness, always moving, right? Like kind of like it's
Sure.
always like, head just turns away. Or, if you really stare, or actually probably what it looks like in this, I'm guessing this is like a Polaroid that you take here, or you have like a disposable camera, or what's the
What year is it?
94.
It's 94. It is one of the cool Polaroids that ejects the picture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and
you
I
shake it and then you shake it.
right, yeah, you
and
shake it like the
makes a
song, yeah,
picture.
that's
Yeah.
not out yet, yeah.
And you make it. It's not the one you have to peel. Those are older.
And I think when the photo develops, the way the stranger looks is almost like have you ever seen like a charcoal drawing of sort of a figure, but it's like kind of like just rough shapes. There really aren't features. There is this sort of like blurred movement kind of look to it. But let me just
Nice. So shows it to Junior.
something like this that I'm going to drop in the chat if that works.
Yeah. Well, ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Sometimes ghosts don't show up at all.
And it's growing impatient.
Or I don't know if it's a ghost. Hi, I said I was Hope. Do you talk?
Grunts again.
It grunts.
Where's the one that opened the door? You're here now, Dale, right?
Yeah, I think the camera pans over and we see Dale in his slacks and short sleeve button up shirt.
Yes.
And like a clipboard in front of him that he has like a pencil like tapping on nervously as this is all happening.
Yeah.
Hope is in her PJs with boots and an outdoor coat. But you can clearly see her PJs poking out.
Dale, you feel the stranger looking at you. It's a weird feeling since the stranger doesn't seem to have eyes or any clear features, but you feel it's it sort of staring at you and saying, and you hear it say, "There's one. Where's the other? I need them both."
Is it saying in his head or is it saying out loud?
It's out loud. It has like I would say its voice is kind of. There's sort of like a reverberation kind of thing going on, but otherwise, I mean, it sounds like someone talking.
Dale, what's he talking about?
Okay. Well, he just kind of like chagrinedly like starts crossing some stuff off the list. We all forgot about the safety meeting we had. That's fine. That was a couple months ago. I don't expect everyone to remember. That's cool. That's great. Okay. So, I was talking about containment, identification. Okay. What?
Dale, start speaking language.
Sorry, it's 3 a.m. and it's okay.
Have some coffee. It's terrible, but it's coffee.
I'll do that.
This is terrible, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I say to Junior.
Yeah.
This is terrible, right?
It's real terrible, yeah.
Okay, good. Because it's actually for terrible. It's pretty good. So.
What do you? Have we met before?
In a manner of speaking, you and the other opened the door that I came through. And there's a problem, and I need you. You know how to open the door. You know how to close it. Yes?
Right.
If you can open the door, you can close it. Yes?
Is the problem that it's open or that you want to go back through?
The door was left open behind me, and now others have come through.
Oh, yeah, that would be a problem. Dale, what did you do? Because I'm thinking, because I can't remember what you did. I can't remember what you will have done.
Right. Chronological phenomena aside, I think quick team meeting, everybody. And like Dale kind of like backs up like
Sure.
10 feet and like waits for you all to huddle in.
I have a hot dog.
Yeah, I think I've been like, as this conversation's been taking
It's 2
place,
o'clock in
I've
the
been,
morning. I'm totally having a hot dog.
yeah. I think as this conversation has been taking place, I've been kind of like lingering in the back, sucking on this cigarette. Chester, I think they're Chesterfield Kings. And like just like staring at the stranger in this like this brooding way. And I like, so I'm already in the back as you're like calling this team meeting, Dale. And I'm not really, I'm there, I'm present, I'm not ignoring you, but I think most of my attention is just sort of like staring at the stranger. Anyways, that's I think that's where I'm at in this like.
Yeah, I'm just checking out the stranger. It's weird, interesting. I'm listening to them.
Okay, so just quickly checking who initially made contact here.
So yeah, the lights went
Harold
out,
and Junior.
and I called Hope, and I think she called you, and here we are. People have been saying recently they've been seeing the stranger, and I guess this is where he's at.
Typical phenomenon, like lights went out in the parking lot and stuff like that. I have some cool readings. I wrote them down here.
Who's this stranger?
That's what they've been calling you. I don't know. Do you have a name?
You have a name?
My name's Junior.
I'm Hope.
And,
I said that already.
Yeah. And that's Harold over there, and this is Dale. We don't mean any harm. I mean, we're just looking to get the community, back in order. Things have been getting weirder and weirder around here.
Ixnay on the eared way.
I have no need for names. I need doors, and I need them closed.
Yeah, and I think we want to help you, but I think we need to know a little more, maybe. If let's take a minute, let's talk. And if possible, I guess I'm trying to swing a sway or a connect here.
I'm trying to study this thing. See if I can figure it out.
Okay. We'll do those, I guess, sort of one at a time. Well, let's start with the study. What are you hoping to kind of glean from that, Hope?
Try to figure out the nature of where this guy might have come from. This guy's not just a dead person who's still walking around. He came through from another continuum, and I know something about some of the other continua. So maybe I can figure that out.
Yeah. I don't want to stop you from rolling something, but I don't know that there's probably a little danger here, right?
Could it be a fortune roll?
Yeah, I think this actually probably is just a fortune roll.
Okay, so it's just a D6.
You can roll your study rating.
Okay. All right, I'll roll my study.
Yeah.
All right.
I better open the dice roller.
Okay, we have a 4.
Okay.
Because I have a picture, and I have these, and I've been I took down all those electromagnetic readings, and I'm looking at him, and he's.
Hope, do you remember when the veil that separates the world was torn?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's you saw creatures like this come through when that happened.
Shit.
Yeah. Junior, what are you trying to get here? What do you want to accomplish?
I'm trying to get him to tell us more, to relax and share more info with us, get comfortable. Trying to comfort, console, and trying to open up and be honest, make myself vulnerable to try to trigger my trust me also.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be difficult to do with a creature like the stranger, I think. Because I think that what you're connecting with here is the void itself by opening yourself up in this way.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right.
Sorry, I can't stop you, but don't do that.
I mean, can I help? I wonder.
Can you?
I mean, let's start out by saying I'm like, I think maybe, you know, I'm kind of trying. Like I've been staring at the stranger, and I've got this, like, you know, I don't know exactly what. Right? Is it sitting in my head? Like, can I tell that I let it in, or?
It's still that feeling of, you know, if your head were, you know, an empty room, there's an open window with a winter chill running through it.
Can I say something to the people here since I found out? Or is it all happening once?
Yeah, I think that, I don't know why you couldn't.
Okay. Hey, guys, our buddy here came through a tear in the veil, and it's could, not going to necessarily, but could tear right open. These things start small, and then they get much bigger really, really fast.
You look over and see the stranger holding up its hand, which is sort of an odd thing to see. It says, not a tear, a door.
A door, fine. Okay, it's a door, and the door gets a lot bigger really quick. And small things get through, and then big things get through, and then
yes, and that's the problem.
And then pretty much, you know, like giant warehouse size things get through, and then at that point you're done. We're done. Everyone's done.
So I see that she is nervous about this. So I think, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to impress her. So I'm going to push forward and be like,
yeah,
look, you want our help, you know, we want your help, you know, let's work together. All right.
So I think that what I'm doing to help then is just kind of like, I don't know if this is like, there's like a space in my head necessarily, right? But if it feels like a cold draft through a window in there, I'm leaning on the windowsill with my cigarette, and not like inviting anybody in or anything, but like I'm going to have a conversation with the person on the outside, right? Like, hey neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
oh,
like they're outside and I'm inside, right? That's like part of the dynamic of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right, but
yeah.
but there's like a kind of welcoming communication piece. So that's and that's one not stress. What's it called in this game? I'm
luck.
sorry. That's one luck.
You can mark one luck, and Junior, I think this is definitely risky. I mean, I'm leaning desperate, but I think let's say it's risky. There's not, you know, this is a fairly contained situation right now. So we'll say this is risky. So you're starting at 2 for connect. You get an additional 1 from Harold. Do you want to push your luck or make a deal with the darkness?
No deals.
I think my trust me should give me an increase of 1 result. So if I get like a 1 to 3, then it turns into a 4 to 5, or in 5.
No,
you know,
well,
and so on.
One result is means that it goes up in effect, right?
So there isn't
goes up a tier or whatever.
Yeah, it goes up a result tier. There isn't effect sort of only kind of exists in this game. I mean, it does exist, but it's folded in a position. So rather than improved effect, it's a higher result tier. So yeah,
gotcha.
A miss becomes a weak hit becomes a strong hit. So yeah, you can't fail this roll.
Yeah, I'll just go with my 3 dice then. Here we go. I got a 6, so that's a crit, right?
That would be a crit, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
level is boss.
Let's figure out what that looks like here. So on a critical, you for risky, you succeed as if in a steady position. So you accomplish actually more than expected. Oh God, what does it feel like to be trusted by a creature of the void?
I mean, I think like when people react well to Junior, they find him like unthreatening, and he's just comforting, easy to talk to. Like I don't know, like what would be the common ground
Jokes.
that we would meet on? Yeah,
Jokes.
like
I mean, I'm
so.
not
Hey,
kidding. Humor.
what do you think of the 76?
So what happens? And I think only. I want to say only Junior, but no, I think it's actually Junior and Harold both see this. Dale and Hope don't. The stranger's face settles for a moment and looks like a face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does its face look like before it settled?
It's just sort of this blur, like that kind of charcoal drawing sort of look.
Yeah, and like the Take on Me video kind of.
Yeah, but like if someone then drew on top of that with some scribbles.
Got it.
Right, like it's there's no real like features until now. And Junior, what happened to your grandfather?
Oh boy. I think he died of old age. But if you want something more dramatic, maybe my dad. I think my dad's sort of out of the picture. I just live with my paternal grandmother, so
right.
You want to grab onto that, or do you want to make my grandfather more interesting?
I think what you see, Junior, is your dad's face, just for the briefest moment. And Harold, what you see, what do you see when the demon is talking to you?
In general,
yeah. Like, does it have a face? Do you see?
So I don't think it's like communicates with me that that kind of direct way. I think I think sometimes there's like a battle of wills in my brain in terms of like it's never like possessed me in a meaningful way yet, but like I could feel it pushing on the borders that are the that the incantation has created. And I think like when I'm trying to sort of channel its power or whatever, or when it's trying to push at me, there's like it's almost like it's like kind of feedback, like a like guitar feedback, like in my head, not literally in my head. I think the more intense or effective it is, there's probably some pain, right? Like there's I assume there's that. I don't suffer migraines, but my wife does, and I've heard from lots of people who do, and I think there can like at more extreme levels, it can border on an incoming migraine, and I imagine we'll see how play goes, but that's the direction it's heading.
Yeah. So here's what happens for you, Harold. You don't see a face here. You see what you've been seeing, but the demon gets really loud, and then you hear a breeze through this window, and the demon stops.
Oh, yeah. I take a deep drag on that cigarette, only to notice that it's probably already out, and drop the butt.
Yeah. So what information specifically are you trying to get here, Junior?
When you describe the cigarette, Hope looks at the cigarette and she starts to make a move towards it, and then she catches herself and stops.
I guess I'm looking for more detail on the others that have come through that the stranger mentioned. And then I guess, given what I just saw, I'm like, why do you look like my dad?
Okay. So do you kind of just like ask it all at once? Like
yeah.
that?
So I probably start with like, So yeah, we're trying to help each other, but I think we need to know better, like what we need to look out for, like who is it that also came through, and then it calms down and it turns into my dad's face, and then I'm like, whoa, why do you look like my dad?
I don't know what a dad is.
Like your father, your forebearer, your ancestor.
A creator?
Help me. Yeah, your creator. That's a good one.
That's not exactly your creator.
I don't know why I look like your creator.
Weird.
No, he's a mirror, Junior, or something like that.
The ones that came through are very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but guys, priority one is to keep anything more from getting through.
So you want the door closed, right? That's what this is about?
Yes, more than
Dale,
anything.
you opened a door?
Me too. I vote 2 votes for the door closed.
Dale, you opened a door? It says you opened a door.
Said someone else though helped you. Who is this other person, Dale?
Is it your ghosty?
I asked you not to call him that, Hope, but
Yeah, I can't call him X. It just sounds like I'm saying, like, Mr. X. That someone, it sounds like the unknown.
Perfectly fine name.
okay. Well, first of all, I mean, in the bureau we refer to them as frames, not doors, but it's whatever. There was, let's just call it a project me and my old partner were working on, which was trying to open safe doors into other phenomenological areas. One of them didn't open.
Well, I guess you got a phenomena, or several.
Where is this X?
Dale kind of like awkwardly looks beside him where there's empty space. Is he here right now?
Oh, is he here? Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
Dale, you see X. This creature does not. I don't know. Do other people? Can other people see X?
No.
Yeah,
we can tell because Dale acts funny. I mean, funnier.
Yeah, I think I like there being some ambiguity as to whether X is an actual, paranormal phantom or just, trauma in Dale's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's an uncomfortable moment where, Dale just kind of looks aside and says, they're deceased, but I have access to their files, their casework. What exactly do you need him for?
There were 2 that opened the door. There will be 2 to close it.
Ah, gotcha. 1 in, 1 out, sort of diode sort of principle. Okay, that's fine. Well,
so you will do it?
Well, we had 2 votes for finding doors.
Yes.
Junior, want to get your input on this here, bud?
Yeah, I mean, if it'll keep people safe, if it'll,
Well,
help
doing.
us out.
I don't know if it'll keep people safe, Junior, but I can tell you what not doing it does.
All right. Well, that's 3 votes. Motion passes.
So
we are.
I love that y'all gave the stranger a vote.
Well, why not? He's here, and although maybe X should have a vote at this future answer vote, but never mind.
So you go find the door, and I'll stay here with our new friend. Keep it company.
Where? How did you find this door, Dale? Or
I think Harold, in your head, you hear a exasperated sigh, and all of the power goes out for a moment, and when it comes back, the stranger is gone.
Okay, well, 2 problems now. It's fine.
No, just 1.
All Oh.
Is the
One at a
window still
time.
open? Can I still feel the breeze?
The window's open, but the breeze is gone.
Dale.
If I stick
so-
my hand out the window, can I feel the direction of the wind? This is all metaphor.
Yeah, this is a metaphorical window.
Harold's in his mind palace.
Harold, yes.
Yeah.
It feels like
Harold,
it's long.
what was in that cigarette?
I mean, I don't think you know what's going on here.
No, I have no
This is
idea.
all-
I just know you're acting bizarre. Like
I mean,
you
I'm
do
just
when you're talking
there.
to
I'm not
your
I'm not
special
saying
friend.
anything.
Yes, I know that. You're not saying anything. Harold,
I'm thinking.
stop talking to your special friend. Just pay it and be with
I'm
us.
thinking. So can I basically, I guess I'm asking, can I sense like any direct, like any hint about where the stranger went?
I mean, this feels cheap, but away.
Right. I'm just deciding. Can I shut that window? Can I close the stranger out?
You can try.
Yeah, I want to try to do that.
Yeah, what's that look like?
Well, you described it as a window rather than like a breach or a gap, right? Which
Mhm.
makes me feel like there's, like I have some control over it, right? And so I think I just, if I opened it to let it in and talk to it, I'm like, okay, for now, maybe I'll see you come by later and say hi again, but and I think I make a very slight mental effort, psychic effort to try and shut it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if that's not really a connect in the same way because I'm trying to
Yeah.
close
You're
myself
trying
to the
to
void.
disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder, is it a
Is it
compel?
a compel?
It's a
Yeah.
compel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could call it a compel. I'm cool with that.
Okay. There's some risk here. This is risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
do you-
I imagine the demon does not want this shut, right? That this is because it also provides a possible egress for it, right?
Maybe so.
Yeah. So I'll roll compel. I'm going to push my luck for an extra die.
Okay.
it-
I was going to ask if I can offer a deal.
You can offer me a deal, sure.
The demon will help you close it.
What's the deal?
The deal is that the demon can reopen it whenever it wants.
Yeah, no, I'm pushing my luck here.
Okay.
And I think I don't need your help for this. So that is 2 dice. 2 dice. And I'm gonna roll them. And roll. A 1 and a 4. So that's a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So on a risky 4, you do it, but there's one or more minor consequences or a major consequence. So I guess first of all, describe to me what it feels like to close this window.
You turn a crank, or is it like a sash?
I mean, I think I'm actually going to move away from some of these metaphors for a second.
Yeah.
Because they've been helpful. They have been helpful, but I
Embrace
think
the metaphors.
I think this is more like pushing against something, right? If the demon is trying to keep it open, right, or keep control of it, right? I think what I'm actually doing is that there's this sensation of this feedback rising, the edge of a headache kind of on like the corner of my eyes and my temples, and I'm just like kind of like through sheer force of will, I light another cigarette, I take a deep drag, and I just breathe out. And just sort of like with a big sort of mental effort, disconnect myself from the void.
Yeah. And I think the consequence here is that the stranger is not going to be back to help on this investigation.
How do I resist things in this game?
You tell me how you resist them, and we decide what attribute that is, and
Great.
then you mark luck based on your result.
Sounds good. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think how I could do this without like negating the roll, right? Because that's the thing, right? The point of the roll was to keep the like most ways I can reach out to the I can reach out to the stranger involve opening that window, that door, right? Reconnecting again. I don't want to do that. I think I just say, right? It's not to keep you out. Everyone can hear that. I say it's not to keep you out.
You say that out loud.
Out loud.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What attribute is that?
I think that's probably heart.
That sounds right to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 2 heart. That's it.
Yep. Yep.
So roll your
What's already 4? Roll. That's a 2, which means it's 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark 4 luck. Yep.
This is fun.
I say, I know it's not to keep us out, but that stuff does, but it really does stink. And Hope coughs a little bit with your cigarette smoke.
I offer her the pack and say, you know, when you get used to it, it starts to smell good.
Oh. Hope takes the pack from you and like counts them. And she goes, "This is too many. I can't take this many."
I offer her 2.
Okay. She wraps them up in a piece of cloth and she puts them away,
Yeah.
like they were little bars of gold.
So, Junior, because of that crit that you rolled, there's one more thing that you're going to get when the stranger leaves. It leaves behind a clue.
Sweet.
That it had apparently been carrying
Don't
on
step
it.
on it.
So in the character keeper, there's a place, there's a clues tab where you can feel free to write down the clues that you find, because you will be using those later to answer some questions. And this clue is what you find in the chair where the stranger was sitting is a long bone. I think probably something like a femur, a human femur,
Really long.
carved with some kind of, like glyphs or symbols. You don't recognize them.
Okay. That's under void clues. Is that right? Scott?
No, that would just be under so this first column A.
Clocks. And then
Hunt.
You can go ahead and name the hunt if you want. I don't have a name for it.
Oh, okay.
Void clues are ones that are kind of like more connected to the like background conspiracy that's happening.
Okay.
For
This is,
the name of the hunt, can I suggest Stranger Danger?
Yes, you
What's the
can.
name?
I like it.
I'll type it in. Stranger
Love it.
Danger. Long
Love
human
it.
femur carved with glyphs and or symbols.
So Dale,
Yeah. Hi. Mhm.
closing the door.
Yeah. So I would put forward a motion that we perhaps split into 2 sort of information gathering task forces. Myself and Mr. Havamaki, we can head back to my apartment and look over some old research material. And Hope and Junior, if you 2 want to go back to maybe the safe house and our library to maybe take a look at the human femur you have there.
Okay. All right. Do you think this door is in no place, or do you think it's someplace?
Well, last time it was deep below the bureau, and so I'm hoping it's still not there, because that would be
not there because we can't get there.
That would be at least one more safety meeting. Hope, yeah.
I want to be with the bone.
Well, I want to be with Bone too, since you did.
And
Okay.
I look back and forth from like Harold
we
to
can bone
Hope.
together.
He
Says Hope,
blushes.
and
He
she
blushes
giggles.
at that. Yeah. I go, well, all right, Harold. That's a good idea. Yeah, you go ahead. You go with Hope.
No,
Okay.
Junior. You know what? You go back to the safe house. You go with Hope. You take the bone to the safe house. I'll go with Dale. But I want to hear right away whatever you find out about this bone. Okay?
Yeah, we'll call you. Do you have? I think we said last time that you have a phone, satellite phone, Dale. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
You still have the number?
I'll call you. Yeah, I'll call you on that fancy phone.
All right. So as we move into the hunt proper, so I just you have the hook. The hook is the door was open and some things came through. That's basically the main thrust of the information that you have now. There's a countdown clock for this hunt, which is a 6-step clock. So you have, it's not super tight. It's kind of your standard sort of investigation. Do we want to take our break a little early and then come back in 10 and kind of dive into this stuff? Does that work?
Yeah,
For me?
that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, why don't we be back? Let's say a 9-minute break. 9-minute break. Be back at the top of the hour.
Exactly 9.
Okay, I need help with what's going on in the chat here. What's 3-2 mean?
3-2 is a 3.2% alcohol beer. A bunch of Midwestern, like Minnesota, right? There's a few other states, right, where I don't think this is true anymore, but for a while, and this is definitely true in the 90s, past a certain hour, right, you couldn't buy full alcohol beer or liquor, but you could buy like a lower percentage of alcohol. Stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm overthinking it. This can all be something that happens in my head. It doesn't have to be these are details that entertain me. That's all.
Well, I certainly would love to see Harold grabbing a 6-pack.
Yeah, I
on his way out the door.
I definitely am grabbing beer to drink on the way back to Dale's.
Oh, to drink?
I mean, I don't think I say that to Hope. I just grab it on my way out the door.
Okay, so Junior and Hope are going back to the library, to the base. Is that right?
Yeah, though I was saying maybe we'll have a detour to go meet with our ally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Migwan Chubbuck. Yeah,
well, the tribal council too would know, if things were getting out there, because wherever this door is, we're either going to have to find its physical manifestation around here, or we're going to have to travel to it, and the second one's a lot harder.
Just to make this easier, I think that Migwan would be as good of a place as any to start for contacting the tribal council as well.
Yep, great.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
So are you just showing up at her place at 3 a.m? Is that?
Well, let me pitch this to you. See what you think of this, Jax.
Yes.
Completely ignoring what Dale and Harold have said about going back to. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, yes. Hope is just going to show up at her place at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I was thinking it's like a Sunday morning, so maybe I have to work till 4, and I'm actually pretty conscientious about it. So Hope and I hang out for an hour,
Okay, so we're going there at 4
she could be looking at the book. But then we have, as the sun's rising, we walk out to the river because we know Migwan likes to fly fish on Sunday mornings, nice and early. So maybe we can get the river involved. There was a spot on the river, I think Jesse mentioned, last time that has like this creepy, super deep pool or
Yeah,
something.
the shell quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
a yeah.
maybe it's a great place to fly fish. Maybe that's where we meet Migwan. And we also have, not coincidentally, we have a moot or a romantic walk in the forest as the sun's rising. So that's a lot there. But what do you like? What do you like? What do you not like of that, Jax?
Well, it's a little different than how I'd pictured Migwan, but I'm fine with this.
Well, yeah, they don't have to be fly fishing.
I think, well, I was thinking that you'd have to go and like, wake her up and there's kids and stuff. But you know what? I like this. I really also like the,
Maybe it's a
kind of
religious thing
tricking
instead of
Hope
fly
into a
fishing.
romantic walk through the woods. Not that I'm a fan of tricking people like that, but,
Sure.
If Hope doesn't know she's being tricked, is it actually tricking?
Exactly.
so,
I mean, and it is a nice walk.
Hope
I mean,
is Hope has no idea. It is a nice walk. What? Isn't it a nice walk? This Hope.
yeah, it's beautiful. The upper peninsula, the fantasy quasi upper peninsula, northern woods. As the sun rises in the autumn, the trees are, all the colors of the trees. It's probably right. I picture it's right around the same time of year, October-ish. So
yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, the leaves are just changed probably, or just starting to change.
Hope has her bone.
Yeah, and you, I think that where the scene starts is sort of you stepping out, kind of this path in the woods to this the shore where Migwan Chibik is sitting and fishing and smoking a cigarette, and just says, "I could hear you coming a mile away."
Good. We weren't trying to startle you. We have a bone to pick with you, I say, waving the bone.
She doesn't even look up.
It's a bone.
She looks over.
See?
Hey, Hope. Hey, Junior. What can I help you with? This is kind of my time,
Scary shit, says Hope.
Yeah, we got to keep her voices down.
Always fucking scary shit.
Don't want to scare the fish.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean scary for the fish.
No, Hope. I know what you mean.
So yeah, look, we found this. You show her the bone, Hope.
Yeah, look, bone.
She kind of looks it over and is like, "What the fuck is this? Where'd you find this?"
Left behind by a what's it? The dimensional traveler.
Stranger.
Fine, that doesn't say anything, stranger.
So wait, no, the creepy shadow person that everybody there's all the rumors about.
Yes,
that's real.
Yes, they're real. They came through a portal that unnamed people opened by accident.
Made me think of you in the Moonlit Lodge. Sounds like your kind of thing you guys are all about.
Yeah, well,
we got to shut it, the door. I mean, or rift, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, the lodge is God damn it. Looks up at the sky, and there's like still just like like a hint of the moon in the sky. I don't think you can get there fast enough. The lodge is gonna close by the time you get there. It'll be gone. Fuck yeah.
Oh, you mean it comes and goes? Oh, it's only there in the moon.
Right, it's moonlit. That's why it's called the Moonlit Lodge. It shows up when the moon is out.
Oh.
Well, Hope we can come back out here at sunset. That'd be okay.
I'm not still going to be here at sunset. You think I just spend like 12 hours out here fishing?
How far is the lodge?
Yeah, just point us in the right direction.
I think she points like out to the like national forest or the state forest, right? That makes up the majority of the state.
Right. That's not how far. That's a direction.
Yeah. It's I mean I think she lets you know that it's it's probably like a good like 20 miles or something. Into the woods.
Yeah, through stupid woods path.
I know what all these markings are on the bow.
I don't, but listen, the lodge might be closed, but I do know somebody maybe that can help. You all are still on good terms with the tribal council, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, I just know that sometimes people react strongly to you all.
I can't see why they should, says Hope with a little smile.
So there's a
It's
a
not like
woman.
we're odd people or anything.
Yeah, what do they call you? The weirdos?
Uh-huh.
There's a woman. She's sort of an expert in old junk like this. She
This is
says,
not
looking
old
at the
junk,
bone and
says
kind of handing
Hope.
it back.
Says Hope, waving the bone in
Um,
a slightly menacing to nobody here manner.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have a piece of scrap paper or something? A
of
little.
course, I have a whole pad here.
Okay. And she takes out. She writes down an address and a name, which is
Self-respecting investigator go out without paper. Hope's still in her pajamas.
Nita Chibanashi. She writes down this name and an address that is in, I would say, on the outskirts of Last Pine. It's on the far end of Last Pine. You're going to have to drive. I don't think you're going to get any more romantic walks in the woods.
This wasn't romantic.
She looks at Junior. She looks at Hope.
Yeah, this wasn't romantic.
Mm.
No.
Yeah. Can I get back to fishing now? It was great seeing you as always. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. But I think Nita.
It's okay. We'll take our bone elsewhere.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's yeah. You guys go bone somewhere else. Does Junior go beat Red?
Yeah. Rolls his eyes and goes red.
Yeah. So where are we finding Dale and Harold?
I'll have you know where I come from. Bones are currency, says Hope. That's not true, by the way.
So I think there was a moment where, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, Harold might have thought that we'd still take their truck, and Dale was very much like, nope.
Well, I was just gonna follow you, right?
Okay,
I was gonna
cool.
get in my car and follow you was my plan. But if you, I'm not gonna fight with you either. If you like insist on driving, I'll get in the car with you.
Yeah, because I think Dale knows Harold well enough to know when he's had a few. And
Yeah, I
so
mean, I
as-
was drunk when I got there. This definitely
Yeah.
sobered me up, but you know.
yeah, I think Dale might have like insisted politely to take his van, which is like, I imagine like a VW van that is like not in good nick. Definitely makes some sounds that shouldn't when he's driving it.
What color is the van?
Rust and white.
Mostly rust though.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were discontinued in the 90s, right? Like, this is an old...
Yeah.
I might be wrong about that, but I think they were.
I'm pretty sure you're right. So yeah, and we kind of open on the two of you in the van together. Where are you headed?
Yeah, Dale's taking them down. Let me look at the map here. It's like south towards the very utilitarian bachelor apartments where Dale lives,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely...
off Highway FF.
Mhm.
Yeah, I offer you one of the beers and light a cigarette. I assume you say no.
Yeah, Dale's just
So
like,
that-
no, I'm fine, Mr. Havamaki. It's all good.
I take a sip and I say to you, it knows things that we need to know. That I need to know.
Are we talking about the apparition, the stranger?
The stranger.
Yep, I totally agree.
I'm just saying, whatever happens with this door, we need to make sure we get what we can out of it.
Out of the
stranger
itself. Okay.
Yeah.
It's, do you want to share why, or
I just did. I think I just like say my belief, right? I think I just say, I say, because it's dangerous and powerful, and what it knows can help us destroy or and what the stranger knows can help us destroy or control it.
Yeah. No, I
Dale,
think
how
you're right
much of
about
your
that.
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. Dale agrees.
How much of your attention does this conversation take?
He's pretty focused.
Mm-hmm.
In that way where someone is kind of nodding through what someone's saying because Dale has something he wants to tell Harold.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but he's also he's got a lot on his mind, so a bit distracted. But
yeah, so I think that you're able to hit the brakes as this strange creature jumps out across Highway Double F. It moves very quickly. It's about the size of like a really like a pretty big dog or a small bear, somewhere in that kind of range. And it seems, and the sun's just coming out. You're driving. You'd be driving west. Is that correct, or kind of south? So the sun's sort of behind you a little bit as it's rising. So it's hard to see, but it almost looks like it's like kind of plasticky looking. Like the light kind of glints off of it in a strange way, and it just runs across the road and kind of disappears into the stand of trees on the other side.
yeah, so I think the van screeched to a halt. Dale's white knuckle on the steering wheel and just kind of watches the thing go and looks at Harold and says, you saw that too?
I wordlessly nod yes, and if this gets annoying, I could stop doing this, but and offer you a cigarette as like a calming, right? Because you're sitting there white knuckle,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if Dale's is Dale a smoker? I guess that's a question for this.
I think he used to be, and he might start becoming one now because he definitely takes it from you.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I think there's just a weirdly quiet moment with them where he gets a lighter from you. He definitely tries to get the one in the bug or in the van. It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I offer you my cheap little Bic.
Yeah, and I think he just kind of breathes out and looks at the cigarette and says, "I just wanted to say thank you for coming along with me and letting Hope and Junior spend some time together."
It's safer. It's safer at the in the library.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad that you're starting to look out for him. It's so important,
It is important. So, do we go after this thing, or do we go back and look at your papers?
And Dale just kind of looks in the forest and says, "How about we just try to put out one fire at a time this morning, huh?"
I think it's all one fire, Dale. I think, right? Things are getting out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, starts the van back up. And yeah, do we want to just cut to Dale's sad apartment?
Yeah, I think that works. So if I'm remembering correctly, it's like a studio or a one bedroom.
Yeah, it's like a bachelor suite. It looks as we see the inside, Dale's shoes off, please, and it looks aesthetically weirdly more like a hotel room because there's not a lot in here aside from books and files.
What's on the walls?
Blank white paint.
Mhm. So not even any like that's a good question. Is there a conspiracy board?
Good question. There's one wall that is dedicated completely to a oversized corkboard, and the various newspaper clippings and such, and like printouts from like web forums, and stuff like that. And it has long like left the confines of the corkboard and is now like covering the walls. But not like in a chaotic way, in a very like neat, like everything's ordered into columns, and there's like tiers like branching off, and yeah, there's like a dot matrix printer in the corner, and like a filing cabinet that we can tell is overstuffed because there's a very neat pile of file folders on top of it. And yeah, it looks, aside from like the information, like no pictures, no paintings, everything very orderly and weirdly like antiseptic.
Yeah, so I think I mean, unless there's a good scene like between the two of you, I don't think we have to zoom in super far on the sort of information gathering here. So I guess just kind of paint for me a little bit, like, do we see like kind of a montage here, and what what specifically you're trying to find, and how you're going about it?
Yeah, so I think when Dale was let go, probably did something to claim more personal items than he strictly had at the office, because a lot of this is probably like stuff he probably shouldn't have. But it is, and a lot of it's probably like type outs of like what he remembers from being in the bureau that he couldn't take with him. I think he's like explaining to Harold as he goes through like him and X like research partners, and so a lot of the stuff he was able to get from the bureau. And what he is looking for is
Can I make a suggestion here?
Yeah.
Some of it is handwritten notes that you took in dictation from the Ghost of X.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And I'm totally just like here following your directions, right? Like this is your files. It's helpful to have a second person reading through stuff, but I don't know where to look for anything, right?
Yeah, no, I think there's a moment where like Dale tells you to look for anything marked Project 95563. Just let me know what you find. And I think in the Bureau's research, it was something like there are places where the veil between worlds is thin, and it's very easy to make doors there. And so I think in the first part of this project, there was like a survey done of the area, and like through like mediums they contracted and stuff like that to be like, okay, these are the areas where the doors are most likely to open. And so what Dale's looking for is that info. They can kind of nail down like, okay, where's the most likely spot where this tear is.
Yeah. I'm trying to think sort of what maybe you can help answer this. What can go wrong here?
Well, there is definitely something involving X, or maybe Harold losing confidence in Dale. There's a reason everything is ordered so pristinely here, so there's potential for there to be conflict there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I pitch something?
Go ahead.
Antagonize X.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that this is risky. What is this? Are we looking at a study? Is this are you hunting things down? Like what's the move here?
Yeah, this feels like a study.
Yeah. So you are starting out with one die in study. Do you want to push your luck, or potentially make a deal with the darkness?
I will happily push my luck.
Okay. And Harold, are you actually being helpful here?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right, cool.
100%. I'm following direction. I'm following directions as well as I can. You know, I'm actively looking. And yes, that's
Okay. Oh, somebody might get some doom pretty soon here.
who would have thought?
Yeah. So yeah, we get kind of this montage of you poring over things and probably handing, files to Harold for him to look. And yeah, pushing your luck is marking 2 luck.
Cool. I will
Yep.
roll 3 dice. I got a 1, a 2, and a 5.
All right. Well, on a risky 5, you do it with a consequence. I mean, like the pattern sort of presents itself very clearly and very quickly. And you probably knew this to some extent, even without looking at this stuff, that Last Pine in general is where the veil is thinnest. Around this area, particularly in the woods, that's kind of locally known as the Sylvan Wilds, but it's this big state forest. And there's a site that the Bureau had set up at a specific spot in the woods, and I think you probably have the coordinates for it, where the veil was at its absolute thinnest. The other thing that happens here, though, is X is really close to you. He's looking over your shoulder as you're doing this. He says, Dale, you don't want to go back there. This is you don't want to do this. You can't do this. Please tell me you're not going to do this.
Look, we've been back and forth about this several times now, and there's just no way around it. We're going to have to address this eventually.
You can't do this. You can't go there.
Look, I appreciate that you technically had seniority over me at the Bureau, but frankly, you're not my boss, okay? So just back off, all right?
Dale, I'm going to stop you. I have to stop you if you're going to go there.
Well, I really wish you wouldn't, but if you do, I'm the kind of person that carries around salt and chalk. So,
You're a real motherfucker, Dale. You always have been. Who's our oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's something around here you maybe need me to punch, Dale.
Nope, Mr. Tamamaki, it's fine. It's fine. Just no, you're the motherfucker. All right, just shut the.
Whoa! What the hell?
That wasn't meant for you.
Yeah. I know what it's like to have,
Everybody has invisible friends.
Quiet passengers.
Dale, do you have a face cast for X?
Oh yeah, it's I put him on my thing. It's the guy from Cabin in the Woods. Richard something?
No, I mean for X.
Oh, for X. My apologies.
I have a suggestion possibly.
Yeah, please.
The other guy from Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah. What's that actor's name? Why can't I think of it?
It's Bradley Cooper. Not Bradley Cooper, but Bradley. He's got Bradley in his name's Bradley something.
Yeah, Bradley Whitford.
There we go.
Who's the partner? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Richard is the other guy.
That feels like a good place to cut back over to Hope and Junior. I'm guessing driving in Hope's car through kind of through town, and you arrive at a trailer park kind of at the far western edge of town. Near the sort of main main entryway into the state forest. And is there any conversation before you get out and go to the door? Do we get any scene here of Junior and Hope in any way?
What kind of car does Hope have?
Hope has an Honda Civic.
Okay.
Probably
like jammed my bike into the back seat or something.
Yeah, the back seat won't. Otherwise it won't fit.
Real.
I could get a roof rack, maybe. They have roof racks, right?
Is it possible that I know Is it Nita? Yeah, Nita Chibanashi.
Nita Chibanashi.
Would I already know of this person, maybe, or is this someone brand new to me?
I think she's probably you maybe have seen her like at the store or something, but I don't think that either of you know her. I guess other than that she is, aligned with the tribal council.
She'll help us.
Junior. Is it like a trailer park or just like a trailer by itself?
It's like a trailer park, yeah. Okay. It's a pretty small trailer park. There's probably half a dozen trailers at most, and they're pretty well spaced out. Like people seem to have actually good sized yards. And yeah, I think you go up to the door and knock.
Yeah. Knock with the bone.
You knock with the bone. I love that detail. It's like
it's just likes this bone.
It's just it's that length of time where you're not quite sure whether to knock again or just give up. And finally, the door kind of opens a crack, and this very small in stature woman, very old woman, kind of looks you up and down and says, "Migwan sent you?"
Yeah.
So I'm Hope, and this is Junior, and this is Humphrey. I say, gesturing to the cat.
She kind of nods at the cat, and then looks at Junior and says, "Bearheart?"
Yeah.
You look a bit like your old man.
Oh, you mean my pa?
Yeah, come on in.
Great.
And she is. I mean, if you had to guess, she's older than your gran is. She's. She's kind of ancient, and her trailer is, it's pretty.
This is nice.
Yeah, it's a little cluttered. It feels very lived in. It's homey, and she kind of gestures to. There's this main room's kind of like a love seat and a recliner. She gestures to the love seat for the two of you, and she sits down in the recliner. She kind of hobbles over to it. I think she's probably walking with a cane, and she says, "You want me to look at the bone?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Did Migwan call you? He seemed to know everything already.
I brought a gift. Says Hope.
And Hope is referring to the. Okay.
That's what she's referring to. I don't know. What is Hope referring to?
Well, you tell me.
Hope reaches in her bag and unwraps, and there is a couple of little bird eggs.
Okay. She reaches out her palm and kind of takes them and sets them gingerly on the table. And Junior, she just looks at you to answer your question and kind of smiles. She doesn't say outright whether Migwan called or not.
And I'll reach in my bag after I see that Hope has given her some eggs, and I'll pull out some Slim Jims and give her a couple Slim Jims.
This isn't necessary.
It's nice when you go to somebody's house, and especially when you don't know them.
Of course.
It's a traditional gift, right? Isn't it? It's traditional.
Sure. May I see the bone?
Yeah, it's really good. But this door that the thing spoke of is
door?
is going to become a tear.
Tear.
Well, we thought of it as a tear because it certainly seemed like it was wide open.
You here for a bone or a tear?
Well, the bone is what got the so the person who left us this bone came through the tear. And the problem is the tear, but maybe the bone will tell us something about the tear, where it is, or how to close it. So that's why we're here.
And do you hand over the bone?
Yeah.
Yeah. She looks at the bone, says, well, bone's just a bone. Leg bone?
Yeah, but it's got carvings in it.
Tall, very tall.
I
Yeah,
thought so
and
too. I measured it against my leg, and it was like, whoa. But I'm not very tall.
and I think that she looks over the symbols, and I want to make sure that I'm that this is something that actually exists. One second. Yeah, I think she calls out right away that sort of like petroglyphs, right? Like or not petroglyphs. That's those are rocks. But like pictographs rather. And says Ashinabi. Where'd you get this? This is from the tear?
Well, yes, left behind by an entity that came through. Some people call him a stranger. He's kind of manifested, but in a really shadowy way until now. I know this tear is going to get worse if we don't patch it quickly, because that's how these things happen. So what do you think?
I'm trying to think like what.
I mean, basically, says Hope. So what would be helpful is either some way of finding out where the tear is, or something that about this that tells us how the tear might be closed up.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe how to protect ourselves against whatever these pictures are of.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be tricky, Junior.
I think I think
What? Didn't say impossible, just tricky.
She says, "Oh," as she's kind of reading it. Not a bone, a key.
Yes, that's it. Says Cope. Oh my gosh, yes, a key. Sorry. It's so hard to remember everything.
There's it's part of a pair. 2 legs, 2 keys. You need both keys.
Crumbs. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, that's more than we knew. Or will know.
Stranger said we needed 2 to close, 2 to open, right? So
it means we're going to have to find other manifestations, hunt them down, see if we can get.
We know Dale is one part of the pair, right? Maybe this was the other. Maybe this is.
Oh. Do you think maybe this is one of the
leg,
that would be, but I hope that doesn't bother him too much. Yeah, okay, but I mean, but we can't. But if Dale is, but this bone's all carved up. So presumably the other one would have to be 2. I mean, presumably, Dale's not going to give up a bone. That would be kind of asking a lot.
Maybe we need to hit book or something, get a ritual.
So, well, how did the thing get hold of this bone? Oh, Hope's just saying everything out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read the writings?
I mean, I think basically, that was the gist of it. That
Okay.
it's a key.
That's a key.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is more than we had. So now we have to find the other key. I think I know where the tear might be anyway. And we could stake it out, but I probably would want to have the other folks there because we don't know what's going to come out of it.
Okay.
What do you think, Junior?
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we should go hit the books, see if we can learn something.
Well, I mean, I know one place where the veil will tear. That doesn't mean that it's the same place, of course, because it hasn't happened, right? Yeah. Okay, this is important. We're going to try and fix this tear, I see, Anita, because more things are just going to come out of it until they do, and they're going to get bigger. And we don't want that to happen, right? So thank you for your help. Is there anything else that you would recommend that we do?
If you already talked to Migwan, I mean, she's the one that knows about tears in the veil or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for your help, and I really like your plays.
Thank you. Thank you for the eggs and the jerky.
Yes, well, you never know when you might need emergency food. So.
All right, I think that's that scene. And Dale and Harold, are you going back to the library now to meet Hope and Junior, where you were expecting them to be, or where are you going?
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I think we've got what we need here.
Yep.
But we also started earlier than they did in the night, right? Because they hung out for 2 hours or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
that's right.
like they could get there and we could be none the wiser. That might be fun, or we could do it the other way.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave that up to Hope and Junior. Are you there at the library when Harold and Dale get there?
We're right after.
We walk in with egg McMuffins.
That's right. We went to buy the diner and picked up breakfast.
Yeah, you went to Double Z and got
because breakfast is important, and I have pie because I checked the rule book and nothing says you can't have pie for breakfast.
Yep, that's free load. Doesn't cost against your limit. Have as much pie as you want.
They don't have a lot of pie where I come from.
So yeah, is that the scene? Like, we have Harold and Dale walk into the shelter, the fallout shelter, and Hope and Junior aren't there, and then they walk in almost immediately after, carrying like bags of food.
We give you just long enough to worry, and then you hear us coming down the stairs, or something coming down the stairs.
I see Harold probably like loading a shotgun or something, putting on body armor.
All right. Well, Junior, Hope, good to see you. What did you?
We got breakfast.
I see that. Thank you.
Also, we found out that it's a key.
What's a key?
The bone, this one, and there's another one like it, or at least another key, and you need both of them. Didn't the guy say something about two open, two closed, right?
He did mention something like that, yeah.
A lot of twos here. Did you guys figure out where the door might be? Because otherwise I have an idea.
We narrowed it down. I think Dale is in like the process. He has like a map of Iron County out. And yeah, I missed this in your original description, Jex. Was it like we kind of generally know where things are thinnest here, or did we have like a specific
you
area?
have like a specific coordinate.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dale like, puts his finger on the map.
Hope, you had said you know where a tear is or will be. Where is that place that you were thinking of?
Oh, it's right here. I say, pointing to one of the spots that he has on his map.
Yeah.
Hope goes that one. Without, I mean, just like instantly, she goes that one even before you explain what the map is.
Yeah, that was on the list. Well done. Very good.
Well, that's the one we should go to first, because that one is at least a big possibility that a giant tear in the veil will happen at some point.
Is this where Hope came through? Is that why Hope knows this?
Yes.
Yeah. So I wonder if it actually is the same as the coordinate. I think it's definitely a place that's on this list, like that's on this map, but I don't think it's the same one that Dale is pointing to. I think there's, the one Hope is familiar with here, and here's the one that Dale's finger is on.
Oh.
Can I actually ask a question about that? Because don't we get to sort of decide that as potentially one of the answers to a the showdown roll question? Like, do we want to pin that down?
Sure.
Now?
Yeah. No. That's you don't have to pin that down now.
Oh, we're not. I'm not. And by the way, let me just illustrate. I'm not pinning it down.
I wasn't arguing with you, Hope. I think Jex was sort of trying to say it's not that one. I'm like, well, is it really?
No, I think what I mean is not that it is
Hope
one or the other. It's that there's two options.
Got it.
I think it's more what I mean to say.
Hope says that's the one I came through.
Oh, okay.
So I know that one's a bit big.
Sure. I mean, but that could give us a definite advantage if Miss Tremblay here knows the area.
I know what that one's like on the inside, but that's not really good. I mean, that is to say, it's good that I know. It's not good. But anyway, we should go and stake out whatever one we decide, and try to figure out. I mean, something else may come through and have a key or be a key, or.
Now, Dale, don't take this wrong, but I've got this weird theory that maybe like this is the leg of your partner, and then like your leg that's like in your body is like the other leg. So maybe we've got both keys already. Does that make any sense?
Dale looks at his legs, looks back up at Junior. Okay. We're brainstorming, and there's no bad ideas in brainstorming. Okay.
Really?
I
mean, if I said bananas and bacon are a great way to start a conversation, would be a good idea. Never mind, says Hope.
Sorry.
I have to stay away from theoretical questions. Yeah, well, it could. Well, was X tall?
He was, yeah, about as tall as me.
Hope holds up the bone next to your thigh.
It is definitely longer than Dale.
This is a really tall leg bone, so maybe it doesn't belong to X.
All right. Well, I mean,
I think it. I think. I don't know. The stranger probably found this coming through, so we may actually have to go look for it there or nearby. If we're lucky, maybe it'll be something nearby the rift that we can find. If we're not lucky, we may have to go into the rift to find it, which is really dangerous, and we should get ready. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, maybe we should go during the day because, nighttime scary, daytime not so bad.
Really? I guess so. Sure.
Certainly can't help to scout out the territory.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, we can, if we're actually looking for an object that's fallen through, it'll be a lot easier to see during the daytime. But that's like now.
Yeah, that's now. I grabbed one last bite of pie.
Finish your beer.
I think that probably got left in Dale's van.
Great place to leave an open container.
I mean, it's half a 6-pack now, right?
Yeah. I think that Harold, taking the last piece of pie, or his last piece of pie anyway, it would be the perfect place to cut to commercial. So why don't we take our second break? Let's make this one 5 minutes. So be back at 57.
Jax, I'm going to drop and reboot my computer just to try to fix any problem.
It's much, much better now than it was.
It could just be a passing thing, but I'm going to reboot.
Sure.
Hopefully that'll help.
For sure.
See you
all
in
right.
5.
See y'all in 5.
My dad was tall.
Interesting. Yeah, so I think starting out after this brief commercial break, the first thing that happens is to just represent the passing of time. I'm going to tick the countdown clock. And what's the plan? Where are folks wanting to go? Are you going? Is it going out to these coordinates and checking them out?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So we probably cut right to that. Are you going to plan on sort of checking out one in one place and then the other, or have one group go one place?
I think we should stay together for this one because we don't
Yeah.
know what might come out of those things.
I would like to go to whichever one we choose, and I don't know that I have an opinion about which one it is. And try and get in touch with the stranger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So which ones do you choose? Which one do you? I guess the question is sort of who is. We don't need to play out like a long discussion here, but who's more persuasive, Hope or Dale?
If Junior sides with Hope, I will side with Hope just to break the tie.
Yeah.
Right.
Are the two sites like far away from each other?
No, I
or
don't think they're.
in
I
the
don't think
same
they're that.
vicinity?
Yeah, I mean, I would think like maybe a mile at the most apart. So they're near each other.
Can I ask a kind of meta question for a second? Can we just like establish the stakes and make this a meaningful choice? Because right now it kind of feels like we're in this quantum state where either one could be the one, and we'll see. Right? I just kind of want to get a sense of like obviously, like
This
what
is a.
happens if we roll badly and it turns out we're at the wrong spot? Is it?
I don't think.
I
think it. I think this is Brindlewood Bay style, and so therefore, whichever spot you go to is the right spot.
Right. Well, then, like, I don't. There's no reason to care, right? Like,
Well, no, but it's narrative. It's the reason you care is narrative.
So
what are the narrative stakes?
Right. So yeah, I mean,
because this is not OSR. Make a search roll kind of thing, right?
Right. But to Jesse's point,
so what are the narrative stakes? Then tell me that. Right. That's the thing I'm missing.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely, the countdown clock is going to be ticked. Things are going to be happening. Presumably, things will happen in the place that you aren't. If you're at the wrong one.
And if Hope it's right, it's tied to Hope's apocalypse, right? That's right. That's I think pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Dale? What does it mean? Like, what's this place that you've sort of pointed out? Like, I just want to get some narrative. Something there, if that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We could tie it to like something involving the accident with X.
Sure.
And so, like, either one has some weight to it.
Yeah, I love that.
Either way, right?
Cool.
Yeah, and that was sort of I guess, my assumption that maybe I should have made explicit, was that, yeah, the coordinates that Dale found were tied to that event. Yeah. So
I think Junior looks sheepish, but I think he would say, I think maybe we should check out Dale's spot first.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's set out, team.
Maybe we see us, just in case we need it, loading boxes of equipment in the back of the van or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. There's your quantum equipment, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you all pile in the van and you drive out into the state forest, basically. You're driving on sort of these gravel paths for a while, maybe even paved paths for a while, and eventually turn off onto gravel ones, and then turn off onto what are basically just tire ruts in the in the grass. And you come to a an area that's fenced off with a chain link fence. It's at the sort of fence goes around like there's a hill, I guess, sort of goes around the bottom of a hill. And up at the top of the hill is, I think that this is probably a place that the people who are from here would know, is the Hell's Gate Lookout. This is a deserted fire lookout tower in the state forest. And this is the kind of place where people used to come to party and things like that. I think that Junior, probably by the time you've became of partying age, this place was sort of lost to history in a way. But Harold, you've definitely partied here back in the day. Mm-hmm. And you probably actually have pretty vivid memories even of like all the sort of the cab on top of the tower and all the surrounding outbuildings just being kind of like thoroughly vandalized and every inch covered in graffiti. This place. Hell's Gate.
Hope clears away a branch from the sign, and then she goes, Hell's Gate? Are you kidding me? What a giveaway.
And the fence has like a thick chain with a big padlock, locking the gate. And I don't think anything seems immediately out of place. Other than, I mean, this is just kind of like a cool, creepy old place, right? But yeah, what do you think you'd be looking for here?
I mean, so I think I just want to be at the place, right, to sort of try and make contact with the stranger again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I'd be looking for is things that don't belong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know that's kind of a big category, but just I mean, if something came through from here, then it's from a different time or place, right? So
yeah,
it would be an anachronism, or it'd be just odd.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, if it found like a sort of China teapot or something like that, that would be weird.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think probably your boxes full of stuff can have like a bolt cutter. You can easily cut off this padlock and just go in. And I think the vibe here is very strong. As you step kind of through the gate and the chain link fence, all of you feel like there are eyes on you. It feels like you're being watched. And Harold, tell me what you're doing to try to make a connection with the stranger here.
Yeah, I mean, so I think I think I hop the fence, right, and climb up the tower. And then I mean, I open that window again, right? I connect to the void. I open myself to the void. I think I to go back to the metaphor, right? I lick my finger and stick it out the window and see if I can see where the breeze is blowing, and kind of holler in that direction.
Yeah.
We're here. We're trying to do what you asked us to. Help us out.
Yeah. Is this a connect, you think?
I think this is connect for sure.
Yeah.
And do you have a deal to offer me?
I'm open to hearing some if anyone has any suggestions. I think.
I mean, I have a thought for one.
Sure.
Which is, I mean, maybe this is too simple, but I take the void touch condition.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's too simple. I think that's exactly right.
That's the fictionally appropriate sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you take void touched, and you would get disadvantage to all heart actions. And what disadvantage means in this context is you are going to cut your highest die from the roll.
Right. And but after this roll.
Correct. After this roll. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I'm not going to do you like that.
Yeah.
Harold, did anyone chase after Harold? Or like Harold, I'm guessing this is probably like muscle memory for you, right?
Oh yeah, no, I have done this so many times. It's been a while. When I was junior's age, every weekend, sometimes more than once.
If Harold is running up in there, I am chasing after Harold.
Okay.
Because I think Harold needs a keeper. It's even a belief.
I think I think Harold, once you're up there, we probably get a scene, before Hope gets there, of you maybe even like kind of running your hands along, some of the stuff up here, and like finding like a piece of graffiti or like an etching that
No,
you made.
there is like 100% my initials with the initials of multiple X's, right? And like from when I was a teenager, and the only
Mhm.
like the previous one, like there's one that's still kind of like really visible, and then
Mhm.
there's like in different places there's scratched out ones.
Mhm. Mhm.
Can't carve the new
Yeah.
one until I scratch out the old one.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so you stick out your finger.
yeah. Well, I mean, Hope, are you helping me here?
Yeah, that's that. I guess yeah, that's kind of why. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering if anyone chased after.
Do I know what you're doing?
Um.
What are you doing, Harold?
I mean, if you ask, I'll tell you. I say
asking.
because I was clear. This was I said earlier that I wanted to. It was important that I say trying to see if I can talk to the stranger, see if I can get some help from it.
Okay.
Knows things, Hope.
Maybe you have your ghost finding equipment out, and you tell them which spot to point at or whatever,
Okay.
like that.
Well, yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah, you had marked off that monster hunting gear before, right? Like
I
you
did.
still have that if
Or I could-
you still have that marked off.
Or I could mark off again. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so mark a luck, and yeah, Harold, that'll give you another die here.
Great. So that gets me 3.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, this is risky. I don't think we're yet in a desperate position here.
Okay. Let's roll them. 5, 2 4s and a 5.
Yeah. You how to describe this? This is not just someone coming in through the window. This is someone as if someone came in through a window and then took up the entire room, if that makes sense.
What to do to the well, finish what you're saying and then
Yeah. It feels like it feels like something pushing up against the boundaries of your skull, but there was already something pushing up against the boundaries of your skull. And so I think that that sort of feedback sound of the demon is getting louder. And sort of, almost violent sounding. As the stranger, who does not manifest physically, inside your head asks, what do you need?
I need answers, power, control, you. I don't think I'm saying that out loud, by the way, Hope. I don't think you hear me say
didn't.
that.
Yeah.
I just want you can. I think you can. You can see the look on my face, right? There's something going on, but I don't think this is I don't think I don't even think it's really verbal, right? Like it's a bunch of like impressions and sensations, right? Insecurity, right? Helplessness, but also resolve.
Yeah, so Hope, you kind of just see this stuff kind of flashing across, Harold's face and in his body language. I can't give you anything that I don't have.
You have something. You're here and I think this is now. I think I am sort of saying this out loud, deliberately for Hope's benefit. right? As I've sort of like a little bit come back to myself, right? You're here. You've you filled the cage and calmed the beast.
Are you talking to the guy
Yeah.
again?
I don't say yes. I just nod.
Asking for the key. Asking for the other key. What's the other key? We have one.
I think it hears hope and just says, echoes inside your head, Harold. If I had another key, I wouldn't need you.
Well, then you tell us where to find it.
Well,
Hope you can't hear that though.
Well, that's true. Never mind.
it doesn't have the key. It doesn't. This isn't about recipes anyway. You have power. At least lend us that.
I will show you what I've seen. And I want to check in real quick. Was that Harold's frustration and disappointment, or was that Jesse's frustration?
No, that was 100% Harold's frustration and disappointment, right?
Just
like, I'm asking for power, and it's giving me a vision, more fucking information.
Yeah. I think that this...
I don't care. Give me a club.
Yeah. Well, I think that what you see, though, is what's been done with the club. Your vision kind of goes dark, and you see a lodge, like a longhouse, made out of wood, a tendril of smoke kind of escaping through the roof, the moon shining bright above. And I think, we get kind of one of those long kind of tracking shot, like coming in closer to the lodge until finally you're inside it. And what do you suppose I don't know, like a half dozen murdered angels looks like?
What does a half dozen murdered angels look like? I think it looks. I think they look like. I think it's just. Do I want to bring in my own personal? Yes, I will bring in my bullshit here. They look like people. They look like dead people. And I know they're angels because the stranger saw them. The stranger sees them as angels, right? And they just look like people. They just look like dead, mutilated people.
Yeah. And you can write down the clue, mutilated guardians of the lodge.
And I say, damn it, it's the lodge.
Yeah.
And I think the stranger is gone.
Oh.
Well, I'll say this: the stranger.
I was hoping
leaves
to try and
unless you
slam
want
the
to.
window shut on the stranger, and right. Well, I guess here's my question. I guess I was kind of hoping to slam the window shut on the stranger, and no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
I
Did I
would
ever
say
get the consequence for that mixed success there?
is the stranger leaving?
Oh, I'm just going to... Yeah, I am going to slam the door shut, and that's a resistance roll.
Yeah. Yeah. What attribute are you using here?
I mean, it has to be heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, which is I think it's somewhere between compel and connect.
Mm-hmm. And being void touched gives you disadvantage.
Right, so
here.
I roll 2 dice and take the lower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically like you're rolling 0 dice here.
A 6 and a 3. The 6 would have been great.
Yeah.
Alas.
Well, with a 3, I think that's still marking 4.
Yeah.
Well, you're dooming out here either
I'm
way.
dooming out correct.
Yeah.
And I think what I say is, fuck it. Hope this was a waste of our time here.
Mhm.
The wrong place.
No,
Yeah.
it's not waste. You might not have been able to even do it somewhere else.
So when you fill,
been at the lodge,
uh,
right? Dale's location was the lodge, right?
we hadn't really, I guess, fully
I may have
decided, but
misunderstood. I thought it was.
I think it makes a lot of sense to me that that's where Hope might have come through.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, I'm so confused. Then I may be misunderstood. Can we just take?
no,
a step
we went
back?
to Dale. We went to Dale's location.
Oh, we went to Dale's location.
Yeah, we went to Dale's
okay,
location.
Then I didn't say any of those things. Rewind.
Okay.
I didn't say any of those things. I'll need to figure out a different way to lash out, but we'll get there.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, because here we go. When you fill your luck track, mark doom. If you give into your inner darkness, for example, lashing out, hurting someone you care about, or going too far, you stay in the scene. If you hold off the darkness inside you, take a final action with improved position before collapsing, being left for dead, or otherwise being temporarily taken out of the scene, only to come back later changed. Touching the darkness always changes you in some way. Modify one of your beliefs to reflect this and clear your luck track. Your solace has been satisfied for the next downtime.
Yeah, so I think I ignore Hope. I do this thing, right, which is a thing I used to do when I was younger, right, which involves like, right, there's this tower, right, it's probably got a ladder, right, there's a ladder, and there's like a trap door down into the ladder, right, or it's over the edge of the thing.
It's over the, there's like a little like kind of platform, sort of thing around the cab.
Right. Right. And I do this thing where instead of going down the ladder, I kind of like hop over the fence like I'm jumping off. And then slide down one of the support posts like it's a fireman's pole.
Holy fuck. Okay. I mean, these things are tall. Like these towers are like,
yeah.
Yeah.
This was like a thing that
were
was
we
like
up in
a
the tower?
dare. And people, I think there are teenagers who have like been hurt or killed doing stuff like this.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially drunk or high. But I'm pissed, and this is what I'm doing. Right. And I like go and I get up in Dale's face. Right. And I'm like, and I say, why didn't you listen to Hope? Why couldn't we listen to Hope?
Couldn't we listen to Hope? Harold, I barely understand half the things she says most of the time. It's not a reliable source of information.
Well, she was right.
She was right?
She was right.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. We can go to the spot. Jeez.
I'm coming, says Hope in the distance. I can't
You
hear
were right, Hope. Let's go.
Oh, no, really? They came through the lodge, didn't they?
Bunch of dead angels there now.
Okay. There'll be a lot more dead people if we don't go quick.
All right, team, let's roll out.
I'm curious what Junior's doing during all of this. You watch Hope take off. You watch Harold
No, Hope doesn't.
slide
Hope
down
doesn't,
this
Hope
thing.
doesn't take off. Hope finds
No,
Junior.
when you went after Harold.
Oh yeah, when I went
right.
after,
So from Junior's perspective, right, Harold takes off, then Hope takes off, then Harold is back and yelling in Dale's face. So where's Junior at in all this?
I'm looking ahead. I'm looking at the mechanic of the. Let's see. If you hold off the darkness inside you, wait. If you give into your inner darkness, so he's going to end up touching the darkness. So he's going to have to change one of his beliefs. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Well, I thought I didn't touch the darkness. I did the other thing.
No, so the way it's written, and maybe that needs to be clarified. Let me know if that needs to be clarified. So touching the darkness, I was changing. So either way, the way it's supposed to be is either way. When you mark doom, you have to change one of your beliefs. But I can see why that. And you giving into your inner darkness is definitely touching the darkness in some way.
Got it.
Well, let me pitch this to Jesse then. So maybe we cut to the van ride home, and I'm trying to console him because he's obviously very upset. And I'm like, there's no way of knowing. We flipped the coin. We took our chances. No reason to get mad at Dale. Really, it was me that spoke up and said we should go with Dale's plan. I mean, if anything, you should get mad at me, and then maybe you get mad at me, and maybe then you can change your belief about me.
Let's hold off. I mean, because I think we're going to the lodge now, right? We're not going home.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm pushing for, and I will go
Lodge.
off half cocked if
Okay.
everyone else does not.
So maybe I do that, and I'll leave it up to you whether you want to use any of that for changing your belief that you have to do now that you've filled up your track.
Yeah. I guess I don't feel like in this exact moment, like I'm quite ready to be consoled.
Yeah.
I think I want to sort of, but let's. I think that's an interesting. I like that idea for a scene, and I'm happy to if we can fit it in later. But I don't think
Okay.
this is. I think I want to kind of ride my condition and my anger for a little bit first. That's all right.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, so I want to check in. We have about a little more than a half an hour. There have been, I think, 3 clues found. I added the mutilated guardians on there because it wasn't on there. And so we don't. I'm just going to say I think I have not done a great job of pacing this hunt. We could, if we wanted to, jump to the showdown roll and kind of go from there, or we can kind of play it out a little bit further and let this bleed into next session a little bit, which I'm fine with as well. But I want to sort of just get the temperature, what y'all would be most interested in kind of doing here. So there's definitely more clues to be found, and there's more countdown clock to be ticked. So there's not like yet that. Basically, the way the showdown roll works is you either roll it when you're ready or when the countdown clock is full, whichever happens first. So there's still room, but I just wanted to kind of check in, just looking at the time, looking at what would be fun for folks, etc.
Can you take like a minute and just describe how the showdown roll worked?
Absolutely.
I've never done any of the Brindlewood Bay School of Games. So.
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely. So when either when the countdown clock fills or you have developed a working theory and approach to dealing with the situation, you make a showdown roll. You take 1 die for each question that you're able to answer using at least 1 unique clue. So obviously having more clues helps you get more dice. Clues can be used to answer multiple questions, but each clue used only contributes to your dice pool once. There are 3 questions. What is the creature or phenomenon? What does it want and why is it here or happening? And what is its weakness and how can it be contained or dealt with? To be clear, you can answer those questions however you want, and it doesn't have to have a clue connected to it. You can make up, whatever. It's just that with fewer dice, right? The less of a, the less likely it is that you are going to be correct with your theory. Because what the dice sort of establish is, whether your theory was correct or not, and then what position you're in as we sort of cut back to the action.
So we can get as maximum of 3 dice if we can use our clues to answer those 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it looks like we need more about the creature. I think it would be interesting, and I think it might help us answer questions if on our travel we run across the creature. I think you mentioned earlier like a plastic looking thing running across the road, which we just sort of like forgot about, but maybe that makes a sudden appearance if I were to pitch something.
A thought. Yeah.
I mean, we could also. Anyways, no. I would love to find the plastic looking thing because I would love to punch it. So sure.
Right. Exactly. I think we're ready for some punching. I like the idea. You probably have good ideas too, Jex, but I like the idea of like, we're driving away and, Harold is sulking in a bad place and I'm trying to console him. And, Dale turns to look at us and, the creature comes out and we hit it with the van or something. And that leads to all kinds of fun.
I don't think that that's what happens.
Okay.
I think that, you know, we probably get like as you're sort of leaving the tower and heading to this other location. I think that the camera probably lingers on the tower for a while, and we see several of these creatures there. But I think that you don't hit one. I think what happens is when you come to Hope's coordinates, there are some there already.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see there is, I mean, you don't see a lodge. You don't see, you know, a building that looks like the one that Harold saw in his vision. It's basically, you know, a clearing in the woods, and um, there's I think a campsite here. And there are, I would say probably 5 of these sort of chitinous creatures, this sort of like dark kind of you know, black, sort of almost plastic looking, kind of bony creatures of various sizes, that seem to be interacting with things that you can't see. Like sort of like, you know, like, I mean, these things they don't, they're not animals the way we're used to thinking of animals, right? But like you sort of see them kind of like maybe pawing at things, and you know, kind of pushing. I don't know that they have heads properly, but like they're sort of fronts against things that you can't see. Though Harold, this maps perfectly to where the dead angels were in your vision.
Mm-hmm. Meaning these things map on the dead, where the locations of the dead angel, like meaning the.
Mm-hmm. It's like you can almost, I think you can almost see it, right? Because you had this vision of the inside of the lodge. You can almost see it's if these creatures are pawing at and sort of sniffing and you know, whatever else these dead angels.
I think Junior says something like, "We can only see the lodge, you know, if the moon is shining." And it's probably like what, middle of the afternoon or something now.
Yeah, I mean, it was like sunrise when you were leaving. I mean, yeah, it's probably like, I would say mid morning, maybe getting close to noon, somewhere in there. Yeah. So Harold, you look out and you see these creatures.
So I mean, I'm happy to run and start punching one of these things or picking one, you know, trying to act violently towards them. But I just did a whole bunch of stuff, so I kind
That's
of,
true.
spotlight wise, am happy to take a step back for a second.
Well, let me actually ask Junior. How do you react to seeing these things? You've seen some weird stuff, but these are very, I mean, they don't, I don't think they have like a good, like, sort of analog for, like, you know, creatures on this planet other
Right.
than in size, right? I think, you know,
Sure.
the smallest one is probably the size of like a, you know, like a dog. I think the biggest one is probably, and we're using the dog bear scale again. The biggest one is probably, you know, about the size of a bear, so pretty fucking big.
Right.
And right now they seem interested in something, but I think probably as the van pulls up, I think that their interest seems to shift. Junior, what's your reaction to seeing these things?
I think I say, "Hey, you guys, I don't. Those look pretty dangerous. I don't think we should leave the van. You know, Dale, maybe you know, be careful, you guys." So yeah, I don't know if in terms of mechanics, if I'm doing anything really there, but that's what I would do.
We we need to get out there though.
What was that, Brandon? We need to get what?
We need to get out there, though, says looking at the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I do think in over the course of the trip, as angry as I am, I did and kind of, I guess, like void touched and hollow. I did tell them like what I saw in the vision, right? And I say, I can't see the body. Can I see the bodies now? I've got a second passenger.
Yeah, I think actually, since you have the second passenger, I think that you can. I think you can see the lodge.
Yeah. And say I say this is they're sniffing the angels. They're I don't know what they did. I don't know if they're scavengers coming afterwards or they're what did it, but these are this is the scene of the crime. It's very clear.
Yeah.
Dale, you're driving. What do you do?
I think Dale's kind of assessing the situation and says, like, I think his first thought is to try to contain them, right? And so I think he's looking at his like hunter's kit and like the, his quicksilver and his salt. And I think my pitch, what to do is like lead everyone into be like, okay, like here is how we do a ritual circle, and like give everyone some salt and be like, just very quietly, very quickly, just connect the circle. I'll, we'll post up at the 4 coordinates and we'll just make sure everything's safe.
There's nothing safe about any of this, Dale.
Manageable. How about manageable?
Manageable would be good.
We can't let them leave, is my point.
The most important thing is to is to try and close the place they came through.
I said we can just manage it. I hold up my hands, right, burning with blue phosphorescent fire.
The big one has lost interest in the angel corpse and is now moving towards the approaching van.
I think I say, screw containment, Dale. These things killed angels. That's pretty metal, but that's pretty bad. I don't like that. And it's probably over the top. But I punched my Slayer cassette into the drive and turn the volume up and just say, nail those suckers.
Yeah. Say before I jump in, does anyone have something they want to do to intervene here? If not, I have an idea.
I can help you get closer real fast.
Yeah. I think if you want to like put your foot on the accelerator, tell me if I need to do this. Oh, there's no. Tell me if I have to push my luck twice for this. Okay. So I want the eldritch fires burning on my hands. As I push my luck to make my enemies scared to act against me. And it's just like a primal scream as I like dive out the door of the moving van. With like the voice of the I'm sure the demon's in there. That's where this flame is coming from. There may be a little bit of the stranger too.
Yeah, I think that you
how much luck do I have to spend to make this happen?
So yeah, well, first of all, I think that you it's not just that blue phosphorescence that you're used to. There's these sort of like shadowy tendrils as well.
Right, so I'm not channeling this into an attack. Right?
Yeah, so I think it's mostly, I mean, this part of it's mostly flavor, right?
Yeah.
So I think that you don't have to push your luck twice to do this. I think that really you're just doing I'm the one here.
Yeah. I'm like maybe after this I'll punch someone, but like now mostly I'm just trying to intimidate them, right? Maybe open something up for one of the other folks.
Yeah. So you're jumping out the side door of the van, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the big one that was coming towards the van sort of rears up, and I'm still trying to figure out in my head what these things actually look like. So, but kind of like rears up and sort of like takes off in the other direction. And then the other ones, they're all somewhat smaller than this one, but of varying sizes, seem to take notice of that, and they start running as well. And they seem to be running kind of towards the woods. And Hope, as you watch this happen, you know that they're running towards the tear in the veil.
Push them. Harold. Harold, they're going towards the tear. You have to chase them into it.
Yeah. I mean, I listen. I guess they're already going in that direction. I just keep the shout going.
I'm taking off with him.
Yeah.
And I'll press Dale. I'll say, Dale, come on, floor it. We got to hit one of these things. We got to figure out what these are.
I am flooring it.
How old is this thing?
Too old. Yeah, there's a shot of like one of the hubcaps comes off. Like we're off road and now in just like forested areas. It's a real rough ride now.
Harold, I think probably there's a point at which the van overtakes you, right? You can't run faster than a van, presumably. And I don't know, like, do you think there's a scene here of you kind of like needing to like catch your breath, or what do you see?
Well, first of all, I don't know. Does this count as something reckless? A reckless decision?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. So I'm unmarking.
You get to clear void touched.
Void touch there. I'm gonna have to change my belief. I'll figure that out. Whether it's the one about Junior or something else. But well,
this thing is they're going into the woods, right? So the car can't follow them.
Yeah, I mean, it can only follow them so far.
I mean, how far is it? How far is it? I guess is my question, right? Because if it's like a few hundred yards, I can like I'm not like I'm in reasonably good shape plus supernatural powers.
Right.
But like if it's like a mile, I'm gonna have to catch my breath at some point.
I mean, I would say, what's a football field? 300 yards. So let's say like
100 yards.
100. Oh, okay. So let's say it's 300 yards. It's 3 football fields.
Yeah. So probably when I get about halfway down, I'm sprinting. Yeah, I start
mm-hmm.
to.
Yeah.
I start to at least slow down, right?
Yeah. And you hear a voice coming from up in like the crook of a nearby tree, saying, "Animals are so predictable sometimes."
Sorry,
and the voice has a.
Did I just hear the voice? There's no.
So if you turn to look, and the voice has kind of a similar quality to the strangers, it's not exactly the same, but you turn to look and you see sitting sort of in, they call it a crotch, right, where the sort of branch and the tree come together, sort of sitting there, this large figure, wearing a trench coat, very sort of. Similarly difficult to look at as the stranger, but maybe for different reasons. And just sort of watching. And sorry, my brain just went like completely blank. So sitting there, on the branch of this tree, and you hear a buzzing sound. Like a swarm of insects coming from this figure. and it gives you a hideous smile. And I think that's a place to end it for tonight, and we'll pick back up next time.
Sure.
Suitably horrifying place to end it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like ending on horrifying things. Why don't we do end of session stuff? Just gonna go through across the playbooks here. Harold, did you approach a challenge with force of will or brawn?
Yes.
Definitely. Did you embody your background or drive?
I will conquer the demon in my head. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you express your beliefs or were they tested or changed?
Yes, and I can tell you what I changed my belief to.
Mhm.
If you want.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, so the supernatural is dangerous but powerful. I must either destroy or control it wherever I find it. The supernatural is dangerous, but I am powerful.
Mhm.
I will control it wherever I find it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or no, I will bend it to my use.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And did you portray your relationship to the Pact or the people of Iron Country?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we had some nice scenes with Dale and with Hope. A question in terms of it's one for each, or if you do them more than once.
It's just one for each. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
One for each. Yeah. Dale, did you approach a challenge with influence or guile?
Not as such, no.
Okay. Did you embody your background or drive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you super did. Yeah. Did you express your beliefs or were they tested or changed?
Yeah, I think my first one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be a good example.
Did you portray your relationship to the Pact or the people of Iron Country?
Yeah. I think the Pact for sure.
Yeah. Hope, did you approach a challenge with ingenuity or knowledge?
I did.
Yeah. Did you embody your background or drive?
Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Did you express your beliefs or were they tested or changed?
Oh, yes, I expressed all my beliefs.
Mm-hmm. And did you portray your relationship to the Pact or the people of Iron Country?
Absolutely.
And Junior, did you approach a challenge with courage or empathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you super did. Yeah, you were empathic towards the stranger.
Yeah.
That was dope. Did you embody your background or drive?
Yes.
Did you express your beliefs or were they tested or changed?
Yeah, I lean into my hope, crush on hope big time.
Mm-hmm. And did you portray your relationship to the Pact or the people of Iron Country?
Yeah. I was trying to show how I knew people and they knew me.
Mm-hmm. And then for the Pact, did you protect the town and its people?
I think so. At least we're trying to.
Mm-hmm. I think you can take that XP. Did you get in over your heads?
This all feels over our heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least a little bit. Did you express or change your Pact's reputation? Bunch of weirdos.
And
Yes.
that conversation you had with, I don't remember her name right now. Nita, about how you're weird. That waving the bone around. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Anytime Hope is on screen with anyone else, we're gonna get that.
And did you struggle?
I'm not used to people.
And did you struggle due to inner conflict or interpersonal drama?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Harold had a bad day.
But also
Yeah.
a very good day.
He got to do some stuff that he likes to do.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us tonight. So I'm going to end the recording. Have a good night, everybody.